Having a great night. I hope it gets better. I'm lucky enough to fill in for the great Tucker Carlson, and he is coming back from South Korea. At least that's where we are to believe. Just a few months ago, Democrats in America's elite media establishment were united around a single talking point. Everything is fine at the border. There is no immigration crisis. Do not panic. It was, in a word, manufactured.
Folks, the president has manufactured one heck of a political crisis for himself.
Donald Trump is manufacturing a national security crisis.
You will hear them say is that this is a manufactured crisis.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis.
It's a manufactured crisis for the president to get a political win.
We have a president who will go on TV tonight and lie and lie and lie some more. This is a manufactured crisis.
How he manufactures crises like immigrants seeking legal refuge.
That was then. But now, even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, featured in that little montage, is having a televised meltdown because of this so-called manufactured crisis.
There's abuse in these facilities. There's abuse. This was them on their best behavior, and they put them in a room with no running water, and these women were being told by CBP officers to drink out of the toilet. They were drinking water out of the toilet, and that was them knowing a congressional visit was coming.
So, how's that manufactured crisis going, AOC? A new poll finds that CNN actually did this poll, that the jig is up. Almost two-thirds of Americans agree there's a crisis at the border. So now Democrats have a new line. The crisis that America is dealing with now is detaining illegal immigrants, rather than letting them go right in, right through, without asking any questions.
As we speak, there are expecting mothers, nursing moms, elderly folks, vulnerable populations being held in detention unnecessarily, doing permanent damage to children.
No one has treated migrants more inhumanely, and take it from me who's seen it myself, than the Trump administration.
There is no shocking the conscience of Trump voters, because this is what he promised, that he would hurt the right people. Donald Trump has cultivated a Roman Colosseum within the Republican Party, where they just want to see him hurt those people. They want to see them suffer.
A lot of those pictures, by the way, that you see as examples are from 2014. And none of this is new. Just last year, Obama DHS Secretary, the former one, Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, widely respected, admitted the Obama administration did the same thing.
And these pictures that we're putting up from 2014 show pictures of unaccompanied minors in effect, jail situations. As you look back on that, did you handle it so well?
I freely admit it was controversial. We believed it was necessary at the time. I still believe it is necessary to maintain a certain capability for families.
He had no choice. Now it doesn't matter if Obama did it. Let's forget about that, even if his HHS secretary admits it. It was good policy in 2014. Now it's a crime against humanity under President Trump. Democrats in Congress are making it clear that the only option is shutting down the camps and creating, in effect, an open border with Mexico.
Clearly something's broken here. What is the solution?
I mean, the solution is to talk about discontinuing, completely abolishing the camps.
Great. All this overlaps with the party's other obsession in the 2019 race, and that's race. Frederica Wilson, Congresswoman best known for her hats, says that race alone is to blame for everything that's bad at the border.
I think it's a money-making scheme. Instead of them processing the children out, they're processing children in so that they can use government money to expand this facility. I said to one of the workers, who are all white men, no Hispanic men, no Hispanic women, everyone running this institution are white men. And this place needs to be shut down.
That's what you're calling
for. Shut down. They're making profit. Greed.
Exactly. Everyone is making so much money with the illegals at the border. It's amazing how much money is flowing there. I've been there twice in the last 4 months, and if she can't find anyone of Hispanic or black descent, she's not looking close enough. Dan Bongino's here, former Secret Service agent, and knows all about what happens at the border. Some of his friends work the border, and they're being vilified at this hour. Dan, I can't laugh this off. This is just beyond unacceptable.
Yeah, you know, Brian, I have a lot of contacts down there. I receive a lot of emails from listeners of my show who are CBP officials, officers, and people on the ground. And they're horrified at what's going on here because they feel like the people I'm talking to, Brian, like they can't win. The Democrats have zero credibility on this. Nothing they said in that opening you just did. The only person who said anything true, ironically, was Jay Johnson. Everything else is a lie. Frederica Wilson insinuating there are no Hispanic Border Patrol agents. I mean, has she looked around? Has she looked at the numbers? Or when they go on the air, they have zero credibility. But here's the problem, Brian. As your opening indicated, and you're right, they laugh this off forever. Oh, this is just Trump making political hay out of nothing. And now when it reaches an epidemic crisis, all of a sudden, what do? They vilify Trump. But one more point on this. You know, it's interesting to steal a line from Thomas Sowell, how they start the story in the middle all the time. They say, this is overcrowding. This is horrible. Well, why is it overcrowded? Because there's an incentive for people to keep coming into the country, into facilities that can't handle it. Like, do they not get this? Are they being deliberately stupid?
Yes.
Or are they just lying to the American people?
I'll tell you for a fact. Do you know that, sometimes people want to get stories out within the government or within a school, and they'll say, listen, you got to go cover the story. They have asked us to come down and shoot the very material that shows the overcrowding. You show up at the Rio Grande Sector Valley. I said, what happened in your parking lot? It's full of tents. They put up 2 tents by the time I went out on patrol with the officers and came back. Right. They can't get them up fast enough. There's no room to put these people. They can't get humanitarian aid. And when they go to get more beds, we get Democratic lawmakers supporting those walking out because the bed company was going to sell to Homeland Security.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Brian, yes. Nobody in Border Patrol has been hiding this problem.
Not at all.
They have been screaming to the media and anyone who will listen, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. There is a meltdown at our border for over a year now. And now all of a sudden, again, as you just nailed, we try to fix the problem. Let's go buy bed. No, Brian, nobody wants to see kids sleeping on the floor, period. Let's fix it. How do you get kids off the floor? You put them in beds. And what do these guys do? And ladies, these liberals, they protest the sale of beds. And another one, we got a $4 billion, aid package, humanitarian aid, and you have not all, but large swaths of the Democrat Party fighting against the aid package. Yep. How do you take these people seriously? I'm talking to common sense Americans right now who are sane, sentient beings. How do you take these people seriously anymore? They just want to hurt others for political points.
AOC voted against the humanitarian package. 98 Democrats did. When they went along with the bipartisan deal in the Senate, they felt as though the rug was pulled out of them by Nancy Pelosi, who actually makes more sense than her 98 left-wing colleagues. Dan, we'll have to end it there. This is just the beginning, but you have to stand up for the Border Patrol. They're doing the best they possibly can. They are not the villains in this, and neither is the president. He's been having the 4-alarm fire, telling everyone about this since the day he took over. Thanks.